So here we are today. Hopefully this is sometime on Halloween. So I decided to explain this very infamous, scary kind of franchise, Five Nights at Freddy's. Hopefully, because most of this has already been figured out. Hopefully I won't have to go too far into theory territory. It should just be a nice, simple ride. So, without further ado, let's cut straight to the chase with the first game. The first game is simple. Very, very simple. You're taking the night shift, which you are horribly underpaid for. You're taking the night shift, and someone on the phone explains to you, hey, these animatronics kind of wander at night because they need to, or else their servos will lock up from staying still too long. Though, if they see you, they will think you are just a bare skeleton. An animatronic skeleton that needs to be put in a suit, so they will kill you and stuff you in a suit. Now I'm sure you're wondering where the killing part fits in all of that, and that's because it doesn't. That is a lie, maybe, hopefully. Yes, it is. What they actually are is that they are the souls of 5 children. One child for each animatronic. There's the bear Freddy, the chicken Chica, the bunny Bonnie, and the fox Foxy, and a golden bear named Golden Freddy. So what actually happened is some person, presumably a staff of the Five Nights at Freddy's location, killed these kids, and their souls somehow possessed the animatronic suits. How they possess it isn't really important. It's really not that important, so I don't really have to go into too much detail there. Long story short, you beat the week, you quit. No, you don't quit. You get fired for tampering with the animatronics. And that's it. That's the first game. Very simple. Let's move on to the second. Second game is a bit more complicated, but there's really nothing new here other than like 1 or 2 things. They don't matter too much. So this game is actually a prequel. It happens before the first game. It happens in the location that was mentioned, that was referenced in the first game, but didn't actually show up. That is this location. You, again, are the night shift worker. You work the night shift because the guy who worked the previous night shift got into an accident, so he was moved to the day shift. The night shift, they explain why the animatronics come to you differently. This time it's because, well, when they're never turned off. The animatronics are never turned off. They're actually just always on because they were never given a proper night mode. So what they do is they feel like, hey, no one's here, so they try to find where someone is, and that's you, and then they still kill you because it's still dead kids. Still dead kids killed by an employee. But there's a trick here. They somehow, for some reason, if you put on a Freddy head, which this game gives you, you will be safe. Apart from 2 exceptions. One, the puppet, which you can only avoid if you wind up its music box, which you can do from the camera, so it gives you an incentive to go on said cameras. And Wizard Foxy, which it's never really explained why he does that. I think it was just to make the game harder. Anyway, there's like about double the animatronics, it's way too hard. Third game. This is where crap gets really interesting. Because this takes place in the far, far future for the time this game released of 2023. Yeah. So in 2023, when a haunted house burns down, you know what it is. Anyway. This takes place well after the Fazbear name is just tarnished. It is dead. So, 2 people unrelated to the company decided, capitalize. Why not profit? So they made a sort of spoof haunted house called Fazbear Frights. And for some reason, they took like actual things from the old restaurants, including a torn up, withered, like, animatronic. But they somehow did not notice the full-grown human body that was in it. They didn't smell it. They didn't see it. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense how that happened. But turns out that thing is alive, and it's called Springtrap. And little side rant here. It's one of the best designs that I've ever seen out of the series. It's just a perfect mesh of just man and machine. It's very cool. Anyway, it's the only thing that can kill you in this game, because there are also the phantom animatronics who do nothing but just mess with you. They can't actually kill you. So, long story short, that thing was actually, the Springtrap was actually the person that killed the kids. And the kids' spirits were angry, understandably, and went after him. He was in a safe room, cornered. He saw the suit, the yellow Bonnie suit, which he had actually used to lure the kids to the back rooms to kill them. He got in the suit, but because... Okay, hold on. Before we get onto that, let me explain how the suit works. It's what's called a spring lock suit. It's a very good idea, but horrid execution. What it was a suit that could also be an animatronic. Like, a person could wear it, or it could be used by an endoskeleton. But the thing that makes it so stupid is that the endo parts never leave the suit. They are held back by these little tiny claws called spring locks, which have to be wound up. And these things are so horribly designed, to the point where if you breathe on the spring locks, on just one of them, all of them will snap back and you will be crushed to death. It's horrid design. It's horrid. It's a horrible idea to keep the suit, like the animatronic parts in the suit. It's such a bad idea. Yet they did it, and it came back to bite old Willie A here in the ass because it was really wet and he was breathing really hard. The spring lock snapped and trapped him in the suit, killing him, except for when they didn't. Because it makes sense. It makes so much sense. Anyway, now that we know how those work, yeah, he gets spring locked, then he rots in like a safe room for, was it 30 years or was it 40? I'm just gonna say 30 because that sounds better. He gets brought into Fazbear Fright. Something burned. There was faulty wiring in Fazbear Frights that caused it to burn down, which finally killed Springtrap. Except for when it didn't. But we'll get to that. So now we're going on to FNAF 4. FNAF 4 is a very similar, yet also very different game. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say, oh, you scared, because, oh, you scared, me, whatever. Anyway, so this game, okay, this is a theory, so take my opinion with the same weight as MatPat's opinion on pretty much anything he does, so like nothing. But this, I believe, takes place before anything else in the series. It is the start of the timeline. Apparently. Hopefully. Hopefully I'm right on that. But we don't have any confirmation, whatever. FNAF 4, you play as the victim of what the first game references and calls the Bite of 87. Basically, a kid got too close to an animatronic and had his frontal lobe of his brain bitten off. Never mind the fact that that is virtually impossible unless these things were designed to kill people. but whatever. So you have PTSD, and you're also in the hospital. You have PTSD, so every night you have like these little these like big nightmare animatronics, which granted look really cool. Not as good as Springtrap, but they still look cool. Anyway, so in between every night, there's these little 8-bit retro video games, which are pretty cool. I think it's a good choice to have that. Anyway, so it starts with like this sort of like, oh, it's just an introduction, like the crying child who we play as, and we don't have a name for, but he always cries, so crying child it is. Gets tormented by his brother because he's already scared of the animatronics. And it sort of slowly leads up to how the crying child was the victim of the bite of 87 and then dies. Yeah, that's actually all of the 4th game. Okay, the original 4 done. Now we're totally done with this game series, is what I'd say if there weren't so many others. But let's start with the least offensive, the sister location. It's actually kind of fun. So you are someone that is unnamed, but we're going to call Eggs Benedict, because they name us Eggs Benedict in the game based on this little glitchy hand unit, which I think is fun. So Eggs Benedict, you are working for Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental. It's a rental service where you can rent animatronics for parties or other things. But these animatronics, it's unclear whether they're possessed by more dead kids or whether they're just conscious. But like, they want to get out permanently of like this little underground thing where they are held. So there's Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Ballora, and Baby. Basically, they sort of combine themselves. I don't want to say combine themselves because like they don't like fuse together. They just take like their parts and make it this like amalgamation of wires and eyes called Ennard, which is again a kind of cool design. It's not as good as the Nightmare animatronics or Springtrap. Like it's fun. Like yeah, so there's voice acting in the game, which I think is cool. It let me know about one of the greatest voice actors of all time, Kellen Goff. I just think he's fun. Or like all the stuff he does. It's like Ennard. Ennard wants, basically what Ennard does is that it lures you to this little room called the scooping room, which has the scooper. The scooping room is like where animatronics get maintenance. But for humans, it will scoop their insides out, and it will kill them, leaving them hollow and leaving them open for Ennard to inhabit their body, look like Rick Astley in the process. And that's the game, basically. Eggs Benedict dies, and Eggs Benedict also kind of spits up Ennard because his body was rotting, because he was dead, but then he wasn't dead. Because it makes so much sense for that to happen. Anyway, FNAF Pizzeria Simulator. This was meant to be the end. This should have been the end. But I'll get to everything else later. So basically, Pizzeria Simulator takes place with Michael Afton, William Afton's son, his first son. He gets a job as like sort of this tycoon builder, like who builds a Freddy Fazbear's. And with the help of Henry, who I'll explain who Henry is in a bit. Be patient. Gathers all of the animatronics in one place and burns them all down. Now let's get to those steps, huh? So what happens since Sister Location is that Baby, Circus Baby, got in a little argument with everyone else in Ennard and got kicked out. Funtime Freddy is now like the guy controlling Ennard, and he becomes Molten Freddy. This is a cool name, but honestly not a very good design. Because like they kind of took out all human form and now he's just a snake. So Baby now has roller skates and a crab claw, and it's called Scrap Baby, which is a really funny design, but it's not good. And then No. There's one more, and then there's the guy I want to talk about. There's Lefty. This actually in kind of good condition black bear who actually has the puppet inside of it. And now we're talking about the butchered character. William Afton, Springtrap, now is called Scrap Trap and looks like Jimmy Neutron with like a fucking 10 head. Man has just like 80% of his head is forehead. It's crazy. It's awful. It's such a bad design. It doesn't look natural at all. But, okay, anyway. So I bet you're wondering why the puppet's there. The puppet is possessed by a dead kid. Not just any dead kid. By a girl allegedly named Charlie. Who was Henry. Henry was the co-founder of Freddy Fazbear's, along with William Afton. Like, Henry helped Afton create what Freddy Fazbear is. And Henry also sort of helped Michael kill everyone. It's a beautiful, kind of heart-wrenching bookend of the story. Like, I do not do it justice. Play the game for as scuffed as it is. You need to play Pizzeria Simulator because, like, that fire ending is so good. And I mean that genuinely. And I bet you're wondering, is that really the end? No. No, it's not. It really just isn't. And, okay, I've been getting a little angry at this for a while. Here's where I shit in the bed. All right, here's where I do it. Here's where I break, and it's all because of this game that shouldn't have been, like, had any lore. It's called Ultimate Custom Night. Okay, it's a little where you customize the animatronics. There's like 50 of them. 50 of them you can go from 0 to 20. It's actually really fun. But then they decided, hey, remember everything you knew about the first 6 games? Nope. Never happened. They were in hell the whole time. What? It doesn't make any sense for that to happen. Like, why are they in hell? Like, because William Afton is dead. He's in hell, and his soul is being tormented eternally. And you want to know what happens? He's just like, you know what? I don't want to be in hell. And he's gone. He's back to life, possessing a computer disk. God! Oh my God, it's so annoying. It's just I don't want to be in hell anymore. It's like you could have done that from the start. Okay. So that's really all Ultimate Custom Night does. But it doesn't do much. But what it does is so aggravating that it's just, it's awful. Okay, 2 more games. Okay, there's this fun VR game, right? Yeah, apparently it's like this meta commentary about like, oh yeah, we kind of like Fazbear Entertainment kind of sucked. Let's poke fun about how Fazbear Entertainment sucked with a VR game. Turns out they use like actual like parts of the animatronics. One of those parts happened to be the computer disk that Afton was sort of, just kind of chewing in because he can do that. And so it corrupts the game, and because it's just like, he becomes like this stupid fucking design called Glitch Trap. Like, people thought it was called the Malhare, which, like, that's such a better name. I'm sorry, it's such a better name than the official name it's given. It's awful. Anyway, like, he kind of steals your body because, like, you're a beta tester in this game. He steals your body? What? Just like, what is happening anymore? But, like, apparently, he did this before with another coworker, I think, called Vanessa, who we will get to her. We will get to her and how fucking stupid that is. But anyway, let's talk. Let's you know what? No, let's talk about it now. Let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Oh my god, this game makes me want to jump off a cliff and die. Oh, it's aggravating. It's so fucking stupid. It throws everything in the garbage for like no reason. I hate it so much. And the thing is, I don't hate, actually no, scratch it. I love this game. But it's not because it's good. It's because it is so ungodly terrible that I can't help but think, this is really fucking stupid, and I love it. Anyway, so there's this kid who we never heard about before, mind you, called Gregory. He's sort of homeless, fatherless, motherless, parentless. He sleeps in a box, but he sneaks into Freddy Fazbear, the mega pizzaplex, because this brand somehow can survive. How? Okay, anyway. He hides inside the sort of version of Freddy that has like a compartment in his chest, which like, okay, they explain that in the game. It's for piñatas and cakes. Sure, I can see that happening. But like, why is it just him? He's the only one that has it. Like, maybe one of the other ones has it too, considering it's got the similar design. Like, that's a hard maybe, honestly. Oh my god. This game makes me want to die. Anyway. So basically, you and your Fred Daddy, as people call him, sort of just kill every single other animatronic, which aren't possessed by dead kids, by the way. Because, like, the one reason these game series is interesting, like, how are the kids possessing the animatronics? They don't anymore. It's fucking glitch trap. Apparently, like, glitching their systems that make them want to kill everyone. Oh my lord. Oh my fucking lord. It is so awful. I hate it. You go ahead and just kind of kill everyone. Kill all the animatronics that are trying to kill you. And like, I mean like, you are horribly maiming them. You were just like ripping out their eyes, making them fall from like really high heights, making them just get clapped in half, and just stealing one's ability to speak. And he put these like, into Freddy to make him real strong. Anyway, turns out Glitch Trap didn't like there's still one other person in the real world, named is Vanessa, and when like she's like being Glitch Trap, like when she's like sort of not her, she is this rabbit lady called Vanny. Okay. When I first saw that like as a concept, I was like, okay, that's actually kind of cool. I want to see what they do with this. They didn't. She shows up like 3 times in the whole game. It's crazy. In this 70-plus gigabyte game, like the main selling point shows up 3 times total. It's actually funny. It's funny how much they waste that character. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm really getting ahead of myself. Anyway. So when you realize that, like, hey, something's up with Vanny, you go down, 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 down to, and I'm not shitting you here, the FNAF 6 location. It's there, just under this, like, big 80s mall. What? These games are supposed to take, like, place, like, 2020, like, they're, like, 2035 or something. Like, these things take place in the future. Like, because FNAF 3 is, like, sort of later in the timeline. That is, like, officially taking place 2023. Like, FNAF 3 will become real in 1 year. But, like, these games, like, FNAF 6 takes place after FNAF 3, obviously. But then Security Breach takes place after Help Wanted, which takes place after FNAF 6. Because William Afton said, oh, I don't want to be in hell. Zoop. As I already said. But anyway, God, it's so annoying how it's just there. And you want to know what's down there? William Afton. Again. This time, he was called Burn Trap, which, like, okay, I'm going to give them credit where credit is due. It looks better than Jimmy Neutron little scrap trap over here. That doesn't make it good. It's not a good design. It just looks like a zombie. Which I guess is kind of, maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe it's what they're going for. If it's what they're going for, then great. Just like, and then there's like this other thing. It's called the Blob. It's like everything that wasn't, it is a pile of loose threads. Quite literally. Everything that like wasn't resolved in FNAF 6 is here. In the Blob. In this giant Fun Time Freddy mask looking. Dear Lord. Oh my God, I am so fucking tired with this game series. And I know, I have the book right there. No, I'm not gonna touch it with a 20-foot Loremaster staff, okay? So don't say, oh, my Loremaster, you forgot about the books. No, I didn't. They don't matter. They're not canon, ever. None of them are canon. Fuck you. Oh, God. I'm actually so angry right now. I'm way too tired. Like, that is it. That is it. That is it for this time. It's just so... Guys? Whoa, hey, guys, what are you doing? Guys, what are you doing here? No. No!
So let's go there. Let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Let's ask, can we stay? Can you take me higher? To a place where blind men see. Can you take me higher? To a place with golden streets.